Okay, y'all, we are back with part 6 of my story time, Slick. Let's jump right on into it. So when we left off, everybody was just shocked because they finally found out that Slick is the ancestor that made the deal with the Crossroad Spirit, Zabriel. Slick is hurt. He's very disappointed within himself. But Grandma Bell tells him, you can't beat yourself up about this. You didn't know that this was going to happen. And, you can't change the past now. The only thing we can do is try to figure out how we can stop this thing from bothering you, how we can get it to go away. So they go back in the house. Grandma Bell pulls out her grimoire and she goes back to that page that talks about Zabriel, the Crossroad Spirit. She reads some things and she reads it out loud to everybody so they all can try to put the pieces together. Now, there is basically only 3 options that they have. The first one is refusal. So if Sabrina and Slick just refuse to be together, then they can just go on with their lives. That's the most reasonable choice, okay? Then they have remembrance. If a person can fully remember who they are and the power that they hold within, they may be able to overpower the spirit. But at this point, Slick has lost his gifts and doesn't know how he's going to be able to get them back, let alone gain full control or full power of what lies within him. And the other way, which is the least likely way to work, is trying to communicate with the spirit or negotiate with it. And 9 times out of 10, that's not going to work. The spirit wants what it wants. So they all try to figure out, why is it coming at him so hard. They know that there is a past life connection. They know that Slick was always spiritually gifted from birth. So they don't know if the spirit really just wants his power, or does it want their souls, or is it both? So at this point, they're just throwing ideas out there. Grandma Bell, she was like, well, maybe you can give it an offering to try to get it to just go away and let you live your life out. But then she was thinking that if you made a contract with the spirit for your souls, the spirit still has to let your life play out. But then she started to think, and she was like, maybe that's why y'all been running into so many near-death experiences, because the spirit is trying to rush the process to gain your souls. So, Granddaddy Fox and Grandma Bell, they're tired. They decided to turn in for the night, and they assured Slick that they would still keep working and trying to figure out what they had to do to help him get his gifts back and make sure that him and Sabrina were both safe. After they went to bed, of course, Sabrina and Slick, they stay outside, they puff, and they conversate. As they're talking, they both don't know what the next move is going to be, but they both know that they don't have much time to make decisions. Slick says, fuck it. We're going back to the crossroads, just me and you. We don't have to tell my grandparents about it. They done enough to help me. Let's just try to figure it out. So together, they gather up some offerings. They get some fruit, they get some rum, and they get some coins as well as some real money. And they go to the nearest crossroad, which is not too far off of the main road from Grandma Bell and Granddaddy Fox's house. They get to the crossroads, and it's dark. It's nighttime, y'all. The moon is real big and full, and they both summon the crossroads spirit. For a while, they don't see anything. Slick pulls out his, and they start puffing again. Then out of nowhere, y'all, in the distance, even though it was dark, they could still see like a figure coming towards them. And the closer he got, they both knew that it was the old man that they had both seen with the top hat, dressed in all black. Once he gets close enough to them, he takes off his hat and he bows towards Sabrina. He looks at Slick and he says, old friend, long time no see. That's when Slick says, look, I already know what's going on. I know about the deal I made with you. And we just want to know what we got to do to get out of this. That's when the old man gives them both that same sinister smile as he did before. Then he says, well, it's about time you start to remember. Let me help y'all. And he grabs both of their hands at the same time, y'all. Then, just like that, they are back in time. They are back on the plantation, y'all. And coincidentally, the plantation is actually the park now, in modern day. Anyway, they're back on the plantation. It's 2 days before Slick and a couple of other slaves, along with Annabelle, are set to run away. So, they had a long, hard day of working in the fields, and George, who is Slick, is about to turn in for the night when suddenly he has a horrible, horrible vision. It's a vision of him being, if you know what I mean. In that moment, George knew that he could not take Annabelle with him because he did not want her to meet the same fate as him. Grief took over him, anxiety and fear. He fell to his knees and he began to cry and shake uncontrollably. The energy in the room was so strong that another vision appeared to him, and the crossroads spirit Zabriel was standing before him. George cried out, telling this spirit what he had seen. The crossroads spirit Zabriel then says, your soul does not have long here. But if you truly love her, then I can make a deal with you so that your souls can find each other in each lifetime. Every lifetime will cause your bloodline to be stronger. And in your final lifetime together, your gifts will fully awaken. Slick then seals this agreement with his own blood. The next day, Slick is trying to figure out how he is going to tell Annabelle that he cannot take her with him. But before he can tell her, she gives him some news of her own. She says, George, we have to get out of here. I refuse to be here any longer than I have to. I fear for both of our lives. And now I fear for the life of our child. Yes, she expressed to George that she was with child. When George heard this, he knew he could not take her with him for real. That was confirmation, because he did not want her or their unborn child to meet the same fate as he knew that he would. He knew that he had to keep his bloodline going, because each time, as the bloodline went on, the spiritual gifts within this bloodline grew stronger, and he knew that he had made a deal so that he would find Annabelle again. So it was the day of the big day for them to run away. Before it was time to go, Annabelle found George and told him that she was ready to leave with him. That's when he broke down. He gave her a long, passionate kiss, and he told her that she could not go with him. She said, why? Please, George, please don't leave me. I love you. And that's when he had to let her know what his vision had saw. This broke Annabelle's heart into two, okay? She knew that his visions were real and that they were never wrong. So she let him go on his own, along with a few other slaves. And eventually, and sadly, they were all caught and burned. So Annabelle died of a broken heart years later, after remaining on the plantation until she was freed. But her and George did have a son together, which was the first key to their bloodline continuing. Now y'all come on back for part 7 as we begin to wrap it up. Peace.